How you guys doing today? First of all, welcome to Open Call, my podcast. You know, some of you maybe know me through my TV show, I Can Make You a Supermodel. And you guys know, in I Can Make You a Supermodel, every episode, I find 10 great kids, I narrow it down to 5, and then I take one kid every single episode and I make them famous. And what happened was, young people all over the world were sending me their pictures and they wanted to be on my show, but my show is only in Holland and in the UK. So I decided to do something kind of interesting, kind of cool, and open up I Can Make You a Supermodel to the world. I want kids all over the world to be sending me their pictures, and I'm going to select 3 kids every podcast, and I'm going to give them tough love. I'm going to give them career advice. See, most of you kids out there think that you can actually model, where 99% of you, there ain't no possible way that you can model. And so what you're going to do is you're going to send me your pictures, and I'm going to critique the shit out of you. I'm going to give you tough love, and maybe every once in a while, I'm going to create one of you into the next world's supermodel. And what's really cool about this is, in my show, they edit the shit out of me. In my show, they tell me where to go. They don't tell me what to say ever, but they kind of have certain controls of me. I decided I want to do something where I can do anything I want to do. I can say anything I want to say. I can create anybody into any star that I want to create into a star. So each podcast, 3 boys, girls, transgender, I'm going to critique you. I'm going to give you career advice. And every once in a while, I'm going to take one of you kids and make you into a star. And today, I get to meet somebody very special. Today, you guys get to meet somebody very special. You know, as most of you and some of you guys know me, you know, I'm kind of an intense, passionate man. And I got pictures sent to me of an interesting person that I found very, very interesting. And I may end up being this young person's manager. I may not be. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. If I do become this person's manager, I'll probably become a teacher in this young person's life. This young person will look up to me. I'll be like a role model to this person. But what this person doesn't understand, I've never met a transgender person before. Fucking weird, right? I'm Paul Fisher, one of the most famous modeling agents in the world. I've never met anybody transgender. So I'm traveling into a world that's very new for me. I have to be very sensitive to this. So as Miggy will be my student, maybe one day, maybe, I have a feeling I will be a student of Miggy's. I think there's some things that Miggy can teach me. You guys ready to meet Miggy? And here's what's going to happen. If I decide to manage Miggy, there's a chance Miggy will become a huge star. If I don't manage Miggy, I'm sure she'll go on to do amazing, amazing things. You guys ready? I'm ready. You excited? I'm freaking excited. Let's rock. Let's meet Miggy. I'm Paul Fisher.
I'm Miggy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right. So let me ask you a couple questions. You nervous?
Yes.
Yeah? Tell me why.
This is my first time actually doing something like this, and you are a big person, obviously. You've managed so many people, big names actually, and just being in your presence intimidates me, so yeah.
Well, being in your presence, that doesn't intimidate me, but like I said in my opening, you know, and I always want to be very, very respectful to you. I've never met anybody transgender before. And so, you know, I hope and I pray as we go through this process that there's certain things I need to learn. For example, I was telling people about you. I was showing your pictures to some of the biggest modeling agencies in the world. And I kept saying, I saw these pictures of this transgender person. I think I sound like an asshole. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. I mean, I wouldn't say I met this girl person or I met this man person. And so what I want to do is, as I want to interview you and I want to learn so much about you, but what's the right thing to say? So I can always be very respectful to you and very, very sensitive to you. Do I say transgender person? Do I say he? Do I say she? What you tell me, so I can make sure that I'm always staying within being very, very respectful to who you are as a human being.
Okay, well, first of all, the whole pronoun thing, I don't really mind. Like, you can say he, she, it. I don't care. I'm just kidding. Don't say it. That's
by the way,
yeah.
That ain't never gonna.
I was just kidding.
Miggy, that's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen.
But I've been wanting to correct you, cause like, but I guess you're
Please,
like, you're
no,
right
I want
at the
you
same
to.
time.
I want you to.
You're right at the same time, because the way I identify is like I'm just like my own person. Like
Right.
I wear what I want. I look the way I look because this is me. I don't like to conform to standards. Like I don't want to be a boy. I don't want to be a girl. I just want to be
Miggy.
like an alien. Miggy. Miggy is an alien. That's why I chose my name Miggy.
I love it.
And
So in a perfect world, what do I say? Let's say we do have a relationship. Let's say I do become a manager in your life. How do I communicate that to the world? Do I say, you know, Miggy's great, but you know she's transgender? What do I say? What do you think? What would I say that would make you feel comfortable, knowing that Paul respects me as a human being? He respects me.
honestly, if you refer to me just as like an androgynous being,
Okay.
basically, like not just physically androgynous, but in my brain I'm androgynous as well. So
Okay. All right. Cool. So now let's get into it. All right.
Okay.
Why would you want to model?
because I don't see enough people who are like me. Like I don't feel represented. I like not just the whole queer transgender thing, but like models of my ethnicity. Like I don't see any models with tan skin, flat noses, like a flat face. Like if I see an Asian model, she has lighter skin and like a narrow nose.
And what are you? What nationality are you?
I'm Filipino.
You're Filipino. Straight. Mom and dad Filipino.
Yeah, pure,
Pure.
just Filipino.
Brothers and sisters?
All Filipino.
All Filipino. How many brothers and sisters?
2 older sisters.
How does mom and dad feel about Miggy?
Well, dad is not in the picture.
Okay.
But mom, she was hesitant to, not hesitant, but like she kind of just denied the idea of me being in the LGBTQ community because she grew up Catholic, and obviously in Catholicism it's not okay, it's a sin. But as the years went on and like she saw me blossoming and becoming my own person and not, can I curse?
Yeah.
She didn't give a shit anymore,
Yeah.
so she was just like, whatever,
The
like
first
I'm gonna
thing
love
you gotta
you.
realize, this is my show.
Okay.
You can curse, you say anything you want. You do anything you
It
want to
just
do.
feels weird because I'm like
No,
17.
you're
People
fine.
are
You're
like,
fine.
"Shh."
No, you're fine. You're fine. Mick, what's important to me? Be Miggy. Because here's my trip. I don't represent just like faces or like a model. I represent human beings. I mean, people, human beings, because if we end up having a relationship together, it goes on for 5, 6, 7 years.
Mhm.
So your look's gonna change, shit's gonna change, but I gotta know who you are as a person. So so mom and dad's out of the picture, mom's still in the picture, and she's cool now. She's understanding who you are.
Well, okay, I need to like, I feel like I need to explain my family dynamic more because
Sure.
it's complicated.
Sure.
So my dad was in the picture for like the first few years, and then my mom left him because he made a mistake, or too many mistakes, and so my mom left, and she stayed single, but then she tried to like just get her life together by bringing a man, because I feel like she thinks she needs a man to like be happy, but she really doesn't. And so like we've moved around like from state to state. We never lived like in our own house. We never had our own apartment. We've always been like a roommate of someone. And
Does she look at you as a son or as a daughter?
she still sees me as a son, even though I'm pretty feminine. But she's very respectful
Good.
of who I am.
Great. Talk to me about why so you would want to model, you said because what you see out there isn't really a representation of your community, of you. Okay. Do you think you can pull this off?
I genuinely believe I can.
Tell me why.
Because when I really want something, like I will go for it. Like this was so scary to me. Like I didn't think like modeling was for me because first of all, like I'm queer or transgender. I don't have light skin. I look very not like the stereotypical representation of like the Asian model. Like I don't look like the Asian model. Like I'm like this brown kid who's trans or whatever. And I feel like those can be seen as like setbacks, but I see them as like they're factors that'll push me to do more because I feel like I don't know, this is just for me. Like I just know it.
Okay. So, you started when you started talking to me about that. And one of the things that you said is I don't see a lot of people that look like me out there. That is not really represented by people. The modeling industry is not really representing the LGBT community, not really representing beautiful Filipino people, like the skin color. So here's my question: why do you think we met?
We met because we were meant to, and
Yeah.
we were meant to meet because I'm going to be doing things in my life that I never thought I'd be doing. And I always think things happen for a reason. I know that's cliche, it's corny, it's whatever. Believe what you want to believe, but I personally believe that things happen for a reason. You meet people for a specific reason.
Me too.
There's a mutual, you guys just learn from each other, you know what I mean?
So let me tell you what I think. I think you're close. Here's what I think. But before I tell you what I think, I want to say something. 5 times a day, 25 times a week, 100 times a month, 1,200 times a year. You're going to walk into a freaking room, somebody's going to go next. 5 times a day, 25 times a week, 100 times a month, 1,200 times a year. You're going to then look in the fucking mirror and say, what? Why is everybody rejecting me? You probably deal with a little bit of that in your life already, right?
A lot.
Okay.
A lot.
And I usually, when I sit in front of young people and I tell them this, I say, yeah, but not as much as that. Not as much as 5 times a day, 25 times a week, 100 times a month, 1,200 times a year. Not as much as that. But I probably can't say that to you, can I? Meaning they get judged. A model gets judged in a very negative way 5 times a day. You walk into a freaking room, they go next. And they're not talking about your personality. They're just saying they don't like the way you look. They actually aren't saying that. They're actually saying you're not right for my job. But when you do it 5 times a day, 25 times a week, 100 times a month, what are you thinking? I'm not good looking. So you're being put underneath a microscope. How are you going to deal with that? Do you deal with that currently with what's happening in your life right now?
I actually do, because I myself reject myself. I'll tell myself oh wait, no, this isn't right.
Yeah, but what
this
if
doesn't look right.
What if it happens 5 times a day? Like today, you go to school, you walk into a casting, and they go next, and next, and next, and next. Yeah, you get confirmed for a fashion show. You show up, the clothes don't fit you. They say next. How you feeling? It sucks.
Yeah, obviously shitty.
It sucks.
Very, very shitty.
The modeling industry sucks. You guys hear that? The modeling industry sucks. And I'm the most powerful modeling agent in the freaking world. And it sucks. And the reason it sucks is because of that. 5 times a day, 25 times a week, 100 times a month, 1,200 times a year. This sucky, gross business puts young people underneath a microscope and judges them about something they cannot change. So why do it? Why would you want to be involved with something that somebody's going to reject you 25 times a week, 100 times a month, 1,200 times a year? Why the hell would you want to do something like that? When you go through shit already, where people don't understand you already, why would you want to subject yourself to that? Can I tell you why? There's only one reason. And I hope I'm making you feel a little intense right now.
Mm.
I am, right?
You are.
Good. Because there's only one reason to put up with that bullshit 5 times a day, 25 times a week, 100 times a month, 1,200 times a year. And it's not about I. It's not because I think that there's not enough ethnicity out there. It's because I don't. No, let me tell you what it's about. And if I could change your mind about this one thing, then I think you have the potential to be something very special in my world. Something very special, because you're beautiful.
Thank you.
Straight out. Coming from a straight man.
Thank you.
Okay? Coming from a straight man. Let me tell you, here's the only way you pull it off. Straight out. Only one way. You forget the word I anymore. You let it go. Fuck the word I. It's gone. The reason, I'm going to use it one time. The reason why I want to become a very famous model, Paul, so other young people that are like me, that have the same thoughts and feelings that I do, they know they can do anything they want with their lives because I can pull this off. See, the reason why I think you and I met, why somebody sent me your pictures and your video, is not for you. It's for the next Miggy. Your job is to be a role model. I was going to say young lady, I hope that's okay, because I never want to be disrespectful.
That's right.
I never want to be disrespectful. But that's why you're here. That's why I wanted to meet you. Not just so I can make you freaking famous. Like, who gives a shit? I made thousands of fucking people famous. Who cares? But if I do something special with a young person like you, do you have any idea how many lives you can affect? Do you know how many other people that are feeling the things that you feel, that don't have the fucking guts that you do and the courage that you do to talk about this in front of the freaking world? Do you know how many kids are now going to go to their mom and dads and say, hey, I saw Miggy. And if, God willing, we can get you walking for Versace or for Valentino, and you think it's about you, this is who you're going to see. This is this guy. Not the guy that you saw 2 minutes ago, nice Paul Fisher going, hey, Miggy, how you doing? I'm going to be a prick. So if we're ever going to have a relationship, a business relationship, it's under one condition. That you and your consciousness understands one thing. That you've gone through this process in your life so you can help another young kid, or maybe many young kids around the world. And if you could put your consciousness in that way, then I think there's I think there's a lot of things you could do in my industry. And for me, you have to know, when it comes to me, my models don't work for Walmart. My models are the faces of Yves Saint Laurent, Versace, Prada, Gucci, biggest freaking magazine, biggest designers in the freaking world. And so, if I ever set you up with a meeting with anybody, you're not going to hear me call you up and say, go see Target. I'll say, go meet Miss Donatella Versace. But you have to have the right consciousness, Mick. You have to understand that this is not about you anymore. This is about, because if you think it's about you, we may be able to pull off some magic together. We'll lose it. It'll be gone. We'll have a fucking moment. Miggy pulled it off for a day. But if you want this thing to last, then you have to do it for a very specific reason. And the reason must be, I've been put here in this world and I want to figure out how I can use this platform to touch other young people, so other young people understand that they're perfect. They're perfect. You're perfect. Guy, girl, don't matter. Freaking perfect. And thanks for meeting me today. So here's what we're going to do. The biggest modeling agency in town, the #1 modeling agency in town, it's called Photogenics. Ever heard of them?
I have. I've been to an open call once.
Yeah, what'd they say?
I didn't get a call back,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
That's okay. You didn't meet the right person. You're going to go meet the owners. I've told them all about you. They're very excited to meet you.
Oh my gosh. Wait. You're joking?
No.
That's funny, actually.
And the chances of them signing you, we'll find out. We'll see. But you have to understand, you go see Photogenics, it's one thing. I call up and I make a meeting for you, it was a different animal, brother. So they're very, very excited to meet you. Very excited to meet you.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. And this is how it works going forward. Anybody calls you about your modeling business, until I make a decision, which I will not make a decision, I want to hear what Photogenics has to say. I got to think about you. I got to meditate on you. I want to kind of think about your trip. But rule #1, and don't break my rules. Don't fuck around with me. Don't break my rules.
I won't.
Rule #1. Anybody wants to talk to you about your modeling industry other than Guido, you refer them to my ass. Simple as that, until I make a decision. And it takes me about a week to make a decision. Why a week? Because I have to think about you. I have to meditate on you. I have to think, can I spend the next 4 or 5 years of my life trying to make your dreams come true? And the only way that I can do that, Miggy, you gotta prove to me that you understand that you're on a mission and you're a freaking role model. And if we pull this off, then we're doing it for other young people, not just for your freaking ego, for my ego, so you can tell your friends you walk for Versace. This is about one thing. This is about that young person that's sitting there watching this shit right now, going, if Miggy can do it, I can do it. Cool?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hang out for 1 minute.
Ooh.
So, here's the story. What do I think about Miggy? I don't know yet. Is she beautiful? 100%. Is she going to potentially help me grow as a human being, as a man? 100%. Are there things that I can learn from Miggy? I just did. Just now. You got to understand one thing. Could I make Miggy famous? With my freaking eyes closed. She's beautiful, perfect body, 5'9", she's gonna fit all the clothes in a second. Do I want to? I haven't decided yet. That takes me a little bit of time. Why? I gotta know who she is first. I gotta understand that she's gonna do this for the right reasons. Because if she does this for the wrong reasons, she'll become famous overnight and then she'll be gone. What do I need that for? So it's a very simple concept. She's gonna go see one of the biggest modeling agencies in the world. Photogenics. They represent some of my big stars. Marjan Jonkman, Swade Brooks. Will Photogenics sign her? Check in next week. You'll find out. See you later.